I've never been on OnlyFans. Have you been on OnlyFans? Do people make statements like that? Have you been on OnlyFans?
No, I have. Okay, man. I see you in court. You then come to my house?
Yeah.
Take my child?
Yeah.
I don't know no other word, but it ain't vigilante justice. It's just justice.
Hello?
This is it.
No.
You're not going to keep, you can't keep
try me like
poking
that.
the bear. Yeah. And now all of a sudden, oh no, you ain't supposed to. No.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Now, if you're not ready, then go ahead and tell me you're not ready.
I object to you getting records. You've been intrusive into people's personal lives.
I'm not a lawyer, but
The Debrief.
Hello and welcome to another episode of I'm Not a Lawyer, but
The Debrief.
I am Melanie. I almost forgot. Melanie, aka I'm Not a Lawyer, but, and I'm joined by my co-host
Gooseby. How y'all doing?
And we are not lawyers or legal experts, but we talk about legal things because they're interesting sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we give commentary. You may like it, you may not. It's your business, but hopefully you stay till the end of the episode.
Yep.
Before we get into it, I want to say, and the editor, David, the editor, is going to appreciate this. We have some merch, okay? And I updated the link to merch. You can go to I'mNotALawyerBut.com. You don't have to put no numbers, no letters. Well, I mean the letters for I'm Not a Lawyer, but you can go on I'mNotALawyerBut.com and get merch. And there's some discounts on stuff because we just moved it. I need to clear it out. So notebooks, you can get both notebooks for $15. They were previously $15 each. They're now 2 for $15, and I've lowered the price for each one individually to $10. You still have to pay shipping, but I've lowered the price. There's also keychains on there. And because I am very nice, I've made if you buy a keychain individually, it's free. You only pay shipping. Okay, so you can get a keychain because I want you all to have keychains. You just pay shipping. So go to I'mNotALawyerBut.com. There's also the cups are still on there. I forgot to discount those, so maybe I'll do those as well.
They're tumblers.
Tumblers, sorry. I forgot to discount the tumblers. Let me discount those.
There's a difference.
Before we get into all the things we needed to talk about in the episode, I wanted to put that out there. I already got 2 orders already. Look at y'all moving quick. I'm going to update the tumblers, but go on there, I'mNotALawyerBut.com and make a purchase. That said, we have a lot of things to get into today. Let's get into the many things we have to discuss.
Yes.
For this episode. And I want to start with Shannon Sharpe because a lot of things happened in that case recently. So in case you don't remember, a couple months ago, Shannon Sharpe, which he was in the NFL before.
Shannon Sharpe is probably the greatest tight end in NFL history.
So him. Okay, I know him because he
also went to Savannah State University.
Okay.
Where I played baseball.
I don't know those things. I know that he's on the internet. But a couple months ago, he was sued by a Jane Doe for a number of things. But one of the things in particular was for assault, sexual assault, battery, and sexual battery. Okay, so it was a lawsuit. I made a video on it for I'm Not a Lawyer, but went through all of these things where she basically talked about they met like at a gym, and over time their relationship had like escalated into him being very controlling and sexually assaulting her, like raping her. And so it was, not consensual. But then he kind of responded and released some very questionable text messages. It was some race play. It was a lot of things happening. It got a little like, we don't need to know all this. That said, recently, attorney Tony Busby, who is the attorney that was representing the Jane Doe, the person suing Shannon Sharpe, a couple days ago, he made a statement. And that statement said, let me pull it up. On April 20th, 2025, the Busby law firm filed a complaint in Nevada making several allegations against Shannon Sharpe on behalf of our client. Both sides acknowledge a long-term consensual and tumultuous relationship. After protracted and respectful negotiations, I'm pleased to announce that we have reached a mutually agreed upon resolution. All matters have now been addressed satisfactorily, and the matter is closed. The lawsuit will thus be dismissed with prejudice. And I wanted to call
With
out
prejudice.
with prejudice, meaning it cannot be brought back.
Okay.
When I read that, it was very clear that it was a settlement for a number of reasons, right? Number one, Tony Busby wants money, right? Like what we've all learned from Tony Busby and the cases he takes is that he's going after rich people
Yes.
because he wants your money. So in my mind, there was no way that both sides came to a mutual understanding without some exchange of cash.
Of course.
That's number one. But number two, I wanted to highlight that it was clear to me it was a settlement because of the language. Specifically, both sides acknowledge a long-term and consensual being key, okay, and tumultuous relationship. And that's because, go back to this, when you talk about rape and sexual assault, what that has to do with is consent. Okay. And so what I imagine, I'm not a lawyer, but, and I also wasn't in the room. What I imagine is Shannon's side saying, I imagine, allegedly, this is what I imagine, to be clear. We will pay you, but you have to make a public statement saying that there was consent, that he did not, because why? Shannon Sharpe can't afford to be known as a rapist or someone who sexually assaulted women. He can't, he's a public figure.
Correct.
So that alone, I said, oh, this was the give and take. I'll give you money. You give me a public statement, basically retracting, basically you, Jane Doe, going back on what you said, you saying he never raped and assaulted me. It was consensual. So that for me tipped me off to like, this is called a settlement.
I think you're correct, even though you don't know the facts of the matter. That sounds like, yeah. Because I would, if we're gonna close this out, if I'm paying you, or you about to, yes, take this off the table. Yep, I have to protect my brand. Here's your money, because we know that's what you came here for anyway.
And so when companies come back and, tell Shannon, we can't work with you because he's now able to say, here's the statement. And it was a Jane Doe, right? The plaintiff was anonymous, so she couldn't make the statement. This is their version of her making the statement. It's through the attorney. So now he can say, she backtracked. She said it was consensual. Yep. So it's his lever. He's getting something back in return.
He probably gonna walk around with that statement laminated in a folder.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, check this out.
Although Hallie is in the comments, and I just want to highlight. I think that's probably a widely held opinion from Hallie here. She just said he's a scumbag. But anyway, I just wanted to say that because after I made the video, there were a lot of people, which is natural. And of course, we all wonder, was there a settlement? How much it was? We'll never know. You'll never get the number. But a lot of people were asking that. And I was like, there's some key things in here that tips you off, I think. Yeah. Anyway.
I mean, what else?
And here's Coretta saying, how much do you think the settlement was worth? So that leads me to the next thing. Go ahead before I finish.
My guess, 10 mil.
Well, so
10 million.
What was reported after Tony Busby's statement was a bunch of places and people saying that the victim or the woman made this statement on OnlyFans. So there's a statement from allegedly, this is what the people are reporting, that this is the Jane Doe, and that she made a statement on OnlyFans saying, "Today I have decided to retire from OnlyFans. Thank you for the incredible support you've shown me over the past few years. This community has given me a life I could have never imagined. I'll still be active on social media and have several new projects in the works that I can't wait to share. I'm truly excited for this next chapter. I love you all forever and ever." So that's what people said that she posted. I've never been on OnlyFans. Have you been on OnlyFans? Do people make statements like that? Have you been on OnlyFans?
No, I haven't. I went on there to I've been on there.
You have?
To see how much people pay for subscriptions.
You was gonna
I wanted to see, like, dang girl, how much you charge? $34 a month. Get out of here. But anyway, how people are retiring.
I don't know
from OnlyFans.
This is my problem. Is that real?
You retired?
That's so. If she wanted to be a Jane Doe, why would she then?
Is it not the little white girl?
Publicize that statement. I don't know who it is. They're saying
the picture of the little white girl, that the young 20-something-year-old girl.
I mean, it seems to be her. I don't know for sure, because the whole point of being a Jane Doe is that you remain anonymous. Like, the internet just loves to play you and put all your business out there.
I've always stated that I was going to start an OnlyFans because people are getting crazy money from OnlyFans, doing just crazy things. I'm gonna have to step into that. But that's a lot of money if she retired.
I don't know
at such a tender age.
You're silly.
From OnlyFans. All that hard work she did on OnlyFans.
I don't know if that's real. If it is, then it's safe to assume that she got a good enough amount of money for her to chill out and stop being on the internet and take up her new several projects that were listed or named in the statement. That, you know, it just feels weird that, like, if that's really her, that she would make such a statement on only, like, it just feels weird. But I don't know, maybe this is a common thing.
One is the internet, and two, with the internet, you have to put shocking moments up, and that's a shocking moment. People are going, who is this girl? What? She retired? Let's check out her page. Let's see if she done bought a new house or a yacht or whatever she's doing since she's retired from OnlyFans. Can you imagine? That's people are going to say that. Yeah, I retired from OnlyFans.
I mean, if you're making your money, do what you, I guess.
Retire from YouTube.
T9 is saying Tony Busby recently placed a pickup of a private jet. And I just want to say, he has posted that private jet a number of times. He's had that for a long time, and he has posted it a lot of times. So it's pretty safe to bet he didn't get that off of this money, because he's had it for a while. Y'all can go look at his I had to start looking at his Instagram, because he's an attorney who posts updates on the internet. Like, you don't even have to wait for a court filings. You can just go on his page and he posts them. So that's why I know he's posted that jet before, because I've been on Tiny Bun Speaks Instagram. Okay, moving on.
I'm proud of Shannon, though, just paying it off, getting it out the way. Leave it alone, playboy.
All right, you ready to move on?
Let's move on.
Let's move on to...
Hold on. You really didn't know who Shannon Sharpe was?
I knew he was in the NFL. I said that part. I said he was in the NFL, right?
Dang, that's crazy.
So I want to talk about a case out of Arkansas that has to do with a man named Aaron Spencer. So I've made a video recap on this story, but the quick synopsis is that last year in 2024, Aaron Spencer, who is a father, killed a 67-year-old man named Michael Fosler.
Yeah.
And I'll post a picture of them just so you have an image of what I'm talking about. Okay, so Michael Fosler is the 67-year-old that says deceased. And then the one on the left with the animals, looks like some chickens, that is Aaron Spencer. And so basically what happened is Aaron Spencer has a daughter, and Michael Fosler was charged for multiple sexual offenses against Aaron Spencer's 13-year-old child. Okay, including stalking, assault, like he was, being crazy with this 13-year-old, like a pedophile.
He's already been charged.
He was charged, correct.
Okay. All right.
And so what happens is Michael Fosler, like I said, gets charged and he gets out on bail. Okay. So he was able to, it was I can't remember the actual name of the type of bail, but it was essentially like he was able to put up like some stocks or bonds or something like that that covered the bond that allowed him, or the bail that allowed him to get out. And so he was able to be released, even though he had all of these charges that were still open. He was able to be released, obviously pending his trial. And the judge ordered that he could not be around Aaron Spencer's daughter or the entire Spencer family. So that was the order. You can get out, but you got to stay away from this family. So fast forward to, I think it was October, Aaron Spencer is woken up because his dog is barking and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. So he wakes up, and because of everything that had happened, he goes to his daughter's room, and he at first thinks it's her in the bed, but he very quickly realizes it's a stuffed animal with his daughter's like hoodie on, that was placed in the bed to make it look like it was the daughter.
Oh.
But it really wasn't, obviously, the daughter. So
what?
He, of course, freaks out, and he tells his wife to call 911, and he gets in his car 1 o'clock in the morning, and he starts driving around trying to see if he can locate Michael Fosler and his 13-year-old child. He eventually spots Michael Fosler's truck. He's honking, flashing his lights, trying to get him to pull over. Fosler is not pulling over. And so Spencer ends up ramming his truck into Fosler's truck and like rams him off of the road. He gets out of his vehicle, Spencer, with his gun. He goes, and then his daughter tries to get out, but Michael Fosler grabs the daughter, keeps her in the car, and then Fosler gets out. So now the two men are outside, the daughter's still in the car. And then Michael Fosler opens fire, empties the clip.
No.
Aaron Spencer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spencer.
The father. Let's be clear. The father empties the clip on Fosler, killing him. He gets his daughter, and then he goes back to his car. He reloads. Then he calls 911 and says, that man you was looking for, the one that kidnapped my daughter, he dead on the side of the street. Y'all might want to come get him. So Aaron Spencer was then charged with second-degree murder for killing Michael Fosler. And there was quite a bit of an uproar because people feel like Aaron Spencer should not have been charged. His defense is self-defense. If you are defending yourself, if you kill someone in the defense of yourself or others, okay, that is self-defense. And in this case, he says he was defending his daughter from a known predator, someone who has already been charged with assaulting his child. And so in defense of her, he killed Fosler. Prosecutors, of course, are not saying that, and that's why he's been charged. Thoughts?
L.A. Greg and Decatur Greg would have followed right behind what this father did. It wouldn't have been a second guess. I can only imagine. I'm almost shaking now. You take that picture down.
Oh, sorry.
That's wild.
Isn't it?
When we're in situations, me and Mel was in a altercation that one time we flew Spirit.
Gosh. Oh, that time.
And when I tell you they got up under my skin so much, I couldn't, because they were just in the wrong. I'm about to tell the story. I flew Spirit. We took a bag, the same bag I flew to Florida in. It was a carry-on. We was flying back to Georgia. They would not let me take it as a carry-on. They said it was too big and it fit in the slot.
Yes. So
these people were wrong. Just like Fosler. Is it Fosler?
Fosler.
Fosler, wrong. And when I feel like you're dead wrong and you're getting over on me, that guy would have, yes. And they should not be prosecuting this man. This man, he put a doll in the baby's bed. So he was inside the home.
I know, that's what I'm like. So he
Crazy.
went inside these people's home.
This man is bold. He
and
he had to be put down, or something was going to happen to my daughter. No. And if they do prosecute him, and if I was the father, I would sit in jail happily.
Yeah.
Hey man, I have no remorse for this.
I imagine
they should not be prosecuting this man.
Father Aaron Spencer knew exactly what he was going to do, but it just makes you question, right? This man was already charged with assaulting my minor child.
Mm-hmm.
And he's let out and is just on a piece of paper instructed to stay away, but he clearly doesn't stay away. Why? That alone, if you violated the court's order, right, that alone should be reason enough for me to protect myself and my child. Also, because what he said, what Spencer told on the 911 call is this: I found the man who kidnapped my daughter. And so again, we're talking about a minor. She doesn't have the ability, right, to make the choice of like, yes, let me go with this 67-year-old man who has already sexually assaulted me. You don't have what? So the idea that the prosecutors even decided to move forward is like so confusing, because it's obviously self-defense. And this man, I just have so many questions, like I do. And the other thing that is so interesting about this case is the prosecutors moved for a gag order because it was getting so much press. They asked the judge for a gag order to be placed on everyone. No one involved can say, the family members, no one can say anything about this case. And the judge granted this gag order. So Aaron Spencer's team appealed. They said, what? And the appellate court reversed the gag order and said, the opinion is a great read, but the opinion reversing the order, the Supremes for Arkansas say this case actually needs a new judge, because why did you even grant this? There's so many questionable things about this case that this case should be moved to a new judge, because something is off with you. So that alone also makes me nervous, because I'm like, what is happening down in Arkansas? What are the judges and the prosecutors doing down in Arkansas?
They in cahoots with the judges in Boston and Massachusetts. But ain't that where Karen Reed? Yeah. They all buddy.
Yeah.
There's
So just to be clear, Yolanda's asking, what are the kidnapping? I haven't looked up the kidnapping laws in the state. I don't know the answer to that. But Lakeisha is saying, but does self-defense only cover you, or does it cover your children? Self-defense covers if you are defending, let me say this properly, in the defense of you or others. So it doesn't even say like you or your children. If you take an action in the defense of you or others, that is how that is covered. But even if I don't know the kidnapping laws, but I don't see how that, if you take a minor child, if you have been charged of sexual assault of a minor, and then you take a minor child out of a house at 1:00 in the morning, I don't imagine she has the ability to say yes or no. And if her parents said no, I don't know the answer to kidnapping laws, but I'm not sure that
crime of passion. I would have been my mind. Hey man, I didn't know what was happening. I was enraged, and that's all that would have happened. I don't know. I just kept pulling the trigger. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Man.
Coretta says, sorry.
You break in the house, you take my child. You're already guilty of that.
It would seem like breaking in even to get in there.
Yes.
I guess maybe that's the point you're making, unless she, like, the minor left. I don't know. I guess we don't know the details of this, so it'll be an interesting case for us to follow. Go ahead.
We know enough details. The guy was guilty, and he took the child, drove off with her. And you mess around enough, you're going to find out.
Absolutely.
And that's what happened with that dude.
100%.
But that's wild that they're charging him, because I don't know if you explained this while I was gone. You was telling me when police officers or when the government, the courts, they have evidence on people and they brush it off to the side and they still decide not to charge people when they have video evidence and they're like, oh, this is not strong enough, push it off to the side. This, to me, off of just being morally right, should not be. Who would find this man guilty?
Yeah. Well, and so one of the things that I'm so curious about, we've heard a lot of attorneys and a lot of trials, people talk about, oh, my brain is going blank now. Jury nullification, right? And it's when a jury is like, yes, the evidence is there, not guilty. Like it's when they just be, yeah. We are still saying no. And I'm so curious if this will be an example of that. This feels like the perfect case for something like that. But I just want to say quickly, because I agree, and I said this the other day, Coretta says the prosecutors are trying to deter vigilante justice, and I completely agree. The only way that this makes sense, that prosecutors would be prosecuting this father, is to deter, is to make other people not feel like it's okay to take matters into your own hands. I get that. I understand that being the motivation. However, they still wrong for that. But I agree that that's what's happening.
I agree 100% with that. Now, vigilante, justice would have been this. He would have been guilty after the first time. Well, this man has already did whatever to my daughter,
and he hasn't had a day in court.
No. But vigilante justice, I would have dealt with him after that first incident.
Got it.
I played it cool.
Yes.
I'm sitting at home. We waiting for the court date.
Yeah. Yes.
We let this happen. Okay, man. I see you in court. You then come to my house.
Yeah.
Take my child.
Yeah.
I don't know no other word, but it ain't vigilante justice. It's just justice.
Hello.
This is it.
No,
you're not gonna keep. You can't keep.
Try me like
poking
that.
the bear, and now all of a sudden, oh no, you ain't supposed to. No.
Yeah.
Hell no.
I think you're actually raising. I think it's a good point that if it really was vigilante justice, he wouldn't have been charged the first time because he would have been dead the first time. But the fact that it seems like he was trying to let the courts play out, he was trying to let the system do what it was supposed to do, but the system didn't do what it needed to do to protect his child. And so as a parent, even where does that leave me? Do I just have to sit here and allow this to happen again? And not only to note that this child is the key witness against this man in this trial, right? Like the person that's going to be able to testify against you and potentially lock you up for the rest of what's left of your life is this girl. So if you kidnap her, are we talking about witness tampering? Are you going to murder her? Is she going to make it back? Like, what are you just going, or not just, but are you going to assault? Like, what was your plan? And as her father, I don't know. And I'm not risking it. So I think it's such a good point.
You should be his lawyer.
Hello, I'm not one.
That's though what you just said.
I'm sure that they are already working on that.
Also,
I am sure
if he has a jury of his peers, they ain't finding this man guilty.
It feels like perfect for jury nullification. It feels perfect for the jurors to be like, yeah, so what? We don't care. So that's one that I will be following, and we'll see how it goes, because I think a lot of people have a lot of feelings and emotion, rightfully so, about that case.
They better not find him man guilty.
Oh my gosh, I think we would all like uproar. We don't even know this man, but it's free Aaron Spitzer.
Man, that's
yeah.
Wow.
Okay, the next case I want to talk about is one I have honestly been trying to avoid because I just don't want to think about it. But I went down the rabbit hole.
That's my daddy.
And I'm working on a video recap, but I went down the rabbit hole of the man suing Jay-Z, alleging Jay-Z is his father, and he wants justice. Okay. And the video I'm going to make is going to go in much more detail, but I just want to give kind of like a recap and get some thoughts and opinions on a few things. Okay. If you are watching this, you see I have the image of Jay-Z, and his name is Rymir.
Mm-hmm.
Rymir Satterthwaite is his last name. Okay. On the screen. Do they look alike?
Man. They look alike.
The problem is that looks like him. Okay. That looks like, but a lot of people look like a lot of people. To be fair,
I don't know.
There's a lot of people who look similar.
That's true.
And they aren't related.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And but the other thing is Jay-Z has very distinct features. That is, the other key to this. However, I read the documents.
Mm-hmm.
I read some transcripts. I read the orders. I read the motions. And the quick version of this case is that years ago in 2010, okay, so it was like 15 years ago, Rymir's mother, who is now deceased, but her name was Wanda filed a petition asking for a man named Robert Graves to take a paternity test and Jay-Z to take a paternity test for Rymir. Okay, his mom was like, I want both of these men to take the test. Robert Graves had been paying child support for Rymir for 16 years. Wow. He was, as far as the courts were concerned, Robert Graves was the father of Rymir.
Mm-hmm.
And so she submits this petition, and the judge says Robert Graves can take the test, but I'm not making Jay-Z take a test because for 16 years, you have said this is the father of your child. This man has paid child support for your child. And you essentially have no real reason to make Jay-Z take a test. Also, they raised the issue, I forget which constitutional right, but it had to do with like the right to search and seizure. And like there has to be reason for someone to search and seizure for police even, right? Yeah. To like commit
get a warrant.
Yes, right? There has to be some probable cause.
Mm-hmm.
And the judge essentially was like, no, you have no real nothing as far as Jay-Z is concerned, but sure, Robert can take this test. And so Robert takes the test. Jay-Z never does. Before the test results come back, Wanda files another motion for Jay-Z because her first one was denied. She files another motion for Jay-Z to take a test.
Mm-hmm.
And so the judge for the second motion was like, girl, you already asked this and they already told you no. So no again. Okay. In the meantime, the results for Robert Graves comes back.
Come on, tell us.
And shows that he is not the father of Rymir.
That's evidence now.
And so, well, and I should be clear. The second the judge for the second case, when she was like, girl, this was already decided. What she said to Wanda was, by the way, if you had an issue with the first denial, you have to appeal. You can't just like file a new motion. The proper way to fight an order is to appeal it.
Mm-hmm.
And so after the results came back, Wanda was like, I'm going to appeal. So then she appealed both of the denials.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, look at this paternity result. These should be overturned. I should be able to have him take this test.
Mm.
So the judge denied it.
Yeah. Appeal it again.
Because you're supposed to appeal within a particular 30 days.
Oh my goodness.
And she didn't. And so that gets appealed.
Okay. That gets appealed.
Actually, nope, I'm wrong. The judge allowed it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. She submitted the work And the judge he said, you're right. You can do this.
I'm finna say, man.
But then Jay-Z appealed.
Oh. Why he appealed?
Because he was like, I shouldn't have to take this test. After the judge was like, actually, this new evidence, yes, this is enough. Jay-Z appealed. And so the appellate court, that's what happened. See, I'm getting mixed up. Follow me. Stay there. Stay with me. The appellate court said they overturned the motion for him to have to take the test. The appellate court overturned it, and they said it's because it was beyond the 30 days, and she basically had enough information to like properly appeal it within the 30 days. She just chose not to. And so just because you chose not to, you don't by this time, like over a year had passed. So you don't just now get to come back and be like, oh, sorry, I want to. So at that point, the ruling was Jay-Z does not have to take a test. Sorry, no. And this was all done in Pennsylvania. Okay. So then Rymir's mama and his godmom, they filed petitions in New Jersey. They were like, hey, will y'all make Jay-Z take a paternity test?
That's crazy.
And so the New Jersey courts, the judges in New Jersey said, hey, girl, Pennsylvania already decided this.
They brought like, hey, man,
they were like,
she hit y'all up too.
Yeah. So they were like, we don't have jurisdiction over this. You filed this in Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania court said, yes, this is the appropriate venue for this case. They ruled on it. They said, no, he doesn't have to take the test. You then got it overturned, and then he appealed, and the bigger court, the appellate court, said, no, he does not. You can't just file it in a new state. That's not a thing. And so they denied her motions in New Jersey based on personal jurisdiction and subject matter jurisdiction. And that I only bring that up, and it's key because they essentially the personal jurisdiction is Jay-Z has no ties to New Jersey. And so this isn't even the right venue to try to do this in. And then secondly, what I said before, which is that Pennsylvania has already ruled on this. So even if he did live here and this, he had some ties, we still couldn't hear it because we respect what another state's courts have ruled. This is the same exact case. You're just trying to do it in a new state. And so it was denied. Now,
Jamoya said, I remember Lauren, the lawyer, was telling us if Jay-Z's name is not on that birth certificate, he's not held responsible anyway. And Tiffany is asking, why Jay-Z? Does she have a picture of her and Jay-Z? So, is there a history or she just was like, why you look like Jay-Z? So I think that might be your daddy.
There is a picture. I have to find it. I believe there's a picture floating around of
what's it?
Jay-Z. That's his mom.
Oh.
Of Jay-Z and this woman.
I've never seen Jay-Z.
They say, I can't find the picture right now. But she says that, I don't know. The other thing to note, though, is that she was 16 at the time Rymir was conceived, and Jay-Z was 23.
That makes sense. Okay. That's why Jay-Z don't want to do the test.
Because it would indicate that he was 23 and impregnated a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
That is the context of that. Okay.
That makes sense.
So let me go back to it. So the judges, New Jersey's judges are like, hey, girl, no. Okay. And so what ends up happening, because Rymir and his family, the mom, the godmom, they continue over the next 7 to 9 years, continue to do things. There was a order to seal the case, and they continue to violate that order and do stuff. And so what ends up happening is that a New Jersey judge made an order and sent it out across the state that said Rymir, his mama, and his godmom cannot file another single lawsuit in this entire state unless it comes through me first. The judge said anything they file has to come through me. I have to first decide, rule. that it is appropriate, that it is real, that they are asking for real relief, that they have real complaints before anybody sees it. Y'all are banned from filing anything in this state because these are frivolous lawsuits and a waste of the court's time.
Wow. That's crazy.
Literally.
How you just gonna ban them like that?
Thing. And so Rymir and his godmom, the mom has now passed. Rymir and his godmom have now filed a lawsuit in California.
Hold on. You said somebody passed.
His mama passed.
Oh, his mama passed.
Yeah.
And his
godmom, who is now the caretaker of him.
Okay, his godmom.
He's an adult now, but okay. Yeah. So they now filed a lawsuit in California
to get him to take a test.
No. So this time he said, I'm not asking. Oh, hold on. One more thing. They also, Rymir, his mom and the godmom, they also sued New Jersey courts and judges. Literally, I'm not lying, sued them. And they were like, y'all are scamming us. So we want to take y'all to court. And then whoever the court was overseeing this said, the courts aren't people. So it was dismissed with prejudice. The lawsuit.
With prejudice.
I'm not even lying. Sued the courts. Dang. Like it said, like New Jersey state courts as the defendant.
Versus me.
As the defendant. So they're now in California suing Jay-Z here. And he's suing. What he said, Rymir said in the lawsuit is, I'm not suing for Jay-Z to take a paternity test, even though that he's like, he is my father. Just so y'all know, he is my biological father, but whatever. I'm not making him trying to take a test. What I'm now suing for is fraud, because this is where I'm not a lawyer, but I'm pretty sure Rymir is confused. Okay. Because I read the transcript. Rymir's understanding of the jurisdiction, the denial for jurisdiction, his understanding is that it solely had to do with Jay-Z having no ties to New Jersey. Mm-hmm. And so what he's saying in this lawsuit is, I have property records. I can prove that Jay-Z lived in New Jersey. Mm-hmm. For that reason, the jurisdiction denial should not apply. Like, this was the proper venue. But what the judge told him, they've told him, but he don't get it, I think, is that even if you remove the personal jurisdiction part, the subject matter jurisdiction part still stands. And that is the bigger problem you have, because this has already been ruled on. And when it was ruled on in Pennsylvania, it was decided that that was the proper venue. You can't just, everybody would do that. If you didn't like your answer in California, you would just go to Nevada and file the same lawsuit. Yeah. You can't do that. We have to respect the other states and judges' rulings. And so you have to, because that exists, you now have to prove to this, New Jersey court or whatever, you have to prove why this is the proper court, why the order was inappropriate, why it has to be brought here. And that's a big hurdle.
I'm about to climb.
It's a big hurdle. And he essentially was like, that's my daddy and I am due inheritance. And so for that reason, everybody wants to know who their daddy is, and y'all should make him take a test. So what he says in this fraud lawsuit in California now is, Jay-Z fraudulently said that he has no ties to New Jersey. And because he did that, we got these denials. And so for that reason, he owes me money for emotional distress, because all of this was based on fraud that Jay-Z represented to the court that he has no ties to New Jersey. He also is suing because he says that all of these everything that has happened, all of the, adverse orders against him are as a result of Jay-Z being Jay-Z. He says that his influence and connections to these courts, it's all, you guys are colluding essentially against me. And so that needs to be uncovered. This is unfair. And so he brought that up in one of the hearings to a judge. And I'm going to put it in my video, because the transcript, the judge says, I just feel like you're doing this because Jay-Z is famous and he is who he is. And the judge said, I'm going to be honest. When my clerk told me the synopsis of this case, I said, who is Jay-Z? And she had to tell me that he was a rapper. And I still didn't know. It literally, I'm telling you, the transcript literally reads, and the judge says, it wasn't until the clerk told me that he was Beyonce's husband that I said, oh, I know Beyonce. So the judge told him, this has nothing to do with Jay-Z being famous. I am so sorry. And so anyway, he is suing Jay because it's like deceit by concealment. It is, he's also suing for unjust enrichment. Get this. Okay. He is suing for unjust enrichment, and that has to do with his claim that because Jay-Z was able to make and keep money that otherwise would have been given to him through child support, he has been unjustly enriched. And so Rhymier is owed money because Jay-Z kept money that would have otherwise been given to him in child support if the courts had made him take the paternity test.
Okay, there's two things I want to say. At my age right now, let's say Denzel, my mama was like, Denzel Washington is your daddy. Okay?
I don't even mean to laugh because I do have varying opinions on this, but go ahead.
Let's just say that happened. And let's just say, and I'm just working a 9 to 5. I'm living life. You know, $100K would do me good. You know, I would want some money. My approach would be so strategic. Like, I'm going to find you at your book signing. I'm going to spend the money to get backstage one of your concerts. I'm going to try to get to you eye to eye and be truthful to you and literally say, man, I don't want nothing, but you remember my mama, you know her, say the name. I'm your son, man. Just want to put that out there. Reach out to me if you can. Give you my number. Now, after some months, if you don't contact me, I'm suing you. I want it all. I want everything that's owed to me. Now, the other thing is, this is a crazy situation because of out of curiosity, you would want to know if Jay-Z is really the father.
Yes.
The disappointing part is him being 23 and she was 16.
Yeah.
Now that's just the disappointing part. So now that's just messed up. But you know, what is it? Okay, Jay, if you the dad, you the dad.
Well, I need to add one thing.
Well, if you the dad, you're gonna get the charge for messing with the minor.
Rhymier is representing himself. He's pro se.
See, that's okay.
He doesn't have an attorney to represent him on this. But he doesn't. What I want him to understand is, even if the judge was like, okay, Jay-Z has ties to New Jersey, you're right. That would not change the denials in New Jersey. What you need to take this up with is in Pennsylvania, not New Jersey, and certainly not California. I don't know why we're here. But to the point you're making, I understand, because of the violation of search and seizure, because you can't just go around making celebrities like take paternity tests just for like shits and giggles and to make headlines, right? Like, I appreciate and recognize that. However, at this point, what is interesting to me, okay, interesting is the word I'll use, is if I was Jay-Z, just to make it go away, this has been 15 years of harassment from this family.
It's been going on 15 years.
She first filed it in 2010. So if you want it to go away, would you not take the test to say, now leave me alone? You know what I'm saying? If this is not if this is not real, why wouldn't you make it go away by taking the test? That is the question I have. I'm not saying he the daddy, okay? Because that ain't my business. That's just the question. When I read the documents, I said, now how come he just wants to?
It's because of the age difference.
So then my other question is, if he takes the test, are people going to run with that and say that's him admitting to the possibility that he could have been the father, which then means he did,
of course,
he was intimate with the 16-year-old. So you don't take the test because I don't have to, because I know I didn't do this. And then if you take the test to make people shut up, now people are like, see, you took it because you knew there was a chance. You know what I'm saying? It feels like a lose-lose a little bit to me.
We might get 50 of these a week. People say I'm the daddy.
Yes.
But they don't look like you.
Yeah, but
they don't. Okay. This boy got a hell. They both got full hairline.
I mean, but how many of us watched Maury when we were all convinced off visuals that this person was going to be the father, and the results come back and it's not the father? Like, never. I don't feel. Well, that always happened. You did not watch Maury enough.
Yes,
because everybody, we would all be thinking it's the father and it's not.
No, they would never look like the dads or the mamas.
You wasn't watching Maury.
I was like, okay, let's see this.
You did not go on the journeys. Because I would be in there at the end when you get the results. You're like, oh my. There was a lot of emotion. I was invested in those stories. And many times you would be wrong if you base it just off of look. So I don't think I started with the pictures because they look alike and it's comical. But that's not the base. That's not reason enough to conclude.
I'm not just going off of looks.
Okay.
So we talked about their ages. So Jay-Z could be his dad age-wise.
Yes.
The mother, they're all like, all that's together. Like, and they're growing up and living in the same area, same state. The man looks like him. The mama says that this is your dad. Then the father he thought was his father took the test and you're not my dad. Oh, okay. Well, there might be some truth in this, but I mean, you can't go just having people take tests willy-nilly. It's just crazy that he looks like Jay-Z. The age gap, him being his father, looks like it could work out. And I don't see why the man wouldn't take the test to let it go, sweep it up. Instead of sweeping it under the rug, take the test. But you know why you ain't taking the test.
Well, no, this is the point that I'm trying to make.
Okay.
That you can take the test to make it go away. But the minute he takes the test, people are also going to run with the idea that you only took the test because you knew it was a possibility. That's why I'm saying it feels like a lose-lose. The minute he takes the test, people are going to act as if that's him admitting that there was a chance because he did engage with the minor all those years ago. And so he had to confirm it. I really do think it's a lose-lose for him.
Oh, okay. So you're saying he takes the test,
and people are going to have
and that's you still admitting that you had sex with a minor.
Yes. Because you wouldn't have had to take the test if you knew it wasn't your kid. But then on the other side, people are saying take the test and prove it wasn't your kid. So it feels like, in my opinion, like a lose-lose. However, that's my opinion. However, I also, because of 15 years of harassment, I also see a world in which you take it and say, shut up. But I think you lose on both ends. Personally, there's already been this narrative that he got with Beyonce when she was a minor. All people need is him taking a test, even if it's not the father, him taking the test and people being like, it's because he did have, sex with her when she was a minor, and he had to confirm it wasn't his kid.
If the man says I never had sex with this girl, and I'm gonna take a test to prove it, then that negates that.
You don't be on the internet that much.
I'm just saying. Because
people just have opinions. But regardless,
if everybody's just truthful, we wouldn't be in these quarrels and have these problems, because old boy mama knew old boy wasn't the daddy from the jump, and she waited till the man was however age to say Jay-Z's your daddy. So she's to blame. She should have had Jay-Z take that test back then.
Yeah, but okay, so here's the other question though. Okay, based off of this recap that I just gave you about what he and his family have done, do they also seem like people who understand what's happening.
Yeah. I mean, we all know that they doing it for the money. That man could care less to have a relationship with Jay-Z. He want it for the money. And if Jay-Z wasn't Jay-Z, she wouldn't be. That man would have thought dude was his daddy from the jump. I mean, for the rest of his life, they would have never took a test. Jay-Z has money.
Are these people who are abusing the court system with no like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can abuse the court system, and they're saying Jay-Z is, but when you file a case and then you file and you don't appeal, you just file another one, and then you go to New Jersey and you file one, and then you get the godmom to file one, and then you get the son to file one, and then you move to California, you file one there, and you file one there. It begins to feel like, and you're pro se. Tyrone Blackburn takes a lot of cases against Tony Busby takes a lot of cases against people. It's very curious to me that they don't have an ambulance chasing attorney to even represent them on this. What is the due diligence? What are the things that have been done? You were saying they live together. We don't know what the evidence is that shows what their connection is that would even indicate Jay-Z could be the father. That's the other thing. And that's what an attorney would have to go through, some due diligence, some kind of something that says this is a reasonable lawsuit that we are bringing to the courts. And it doesn't feel like there's much there. And so it makes me question, is this an abuse of process? And because you have similarities to a celebrity, you're claiming this now.
Well, that's what we asked from the jump. It's Tiffany asked, why Jay-Z? Is there any evidence that the mom even knew Jay-Z?
Well, and that's what I'm saying.
And if that's not the fact, then
we don't know that. We haven't seen it.
Well, if there's no pictures, if there's no back then, there ain't no text messages.
Even if there was a picture, so what? You saw a celebrity one time, you took a picture. That doesn't mean that you birthed a child with them, even if you know what I'm saying. Like it just needs
of course it
evidence.
Has. Yeah. If the mother's no longer here, so I mean, if there's no obvious evidence behind this, then it's just them trying to play the game and get paid. But if there is some evidence, that's going to be interesting.
We'll see what happens. The biggest takeaway for me was reading those documents and understanding, on one side, understanding the history, how many lawsuits were filed, where there were filed, and now this most recent one that clearly, in my opinion, indicates he doesn't understand the jurisdiction denial. Like he doesn't get that part. And so he's stuck on this personal jurisdiction, but doesn't really understand that it has more to do with like the court already deciding in Pennsylvania and you can't just file somewhere else. That's where I'm like, that's really interesting. And also, how come you don't have an attorney? There are a lot of attorneys who would take questionable cases, right?
Yeah, do this.
They exist.
Yeah.
So the fact that you haven't gotten one to represent you, and again, this is something that is known. A lot of people are reporting and talking about this. The fact that Tony Busby or Blackburn hasn't even reached out to be like, I got it from here is very questionable to me. How come? Yeah. You should have representation. The legal system is confusing a lot. You don't know stuff. You don't know how to file motions. The judge in the transcript was being very kind to him. And Jay-Z's attorney kept interrupting, like, Judge, come on. And she was like, I want to let him speak. I want him. I don't care if it's expired. I don't care if it's old. I don't care if what he's doing is not even in the right process. I want him to make his statement and tell me everything he needs to say so that when I make my ruling, I am fully informed. This is not incomplete. I have everything. And if he can give me 1 ounce of why I should overturn this or why this is the right venue or why we should make Jay-Z take this test, I want to hear it. But if you can't do that, you're going to be denied. She told him. And he talked and talked and talked. And at the end, she still said, you haven't given me anything.
Oh, well, there you go then.
You haven't given me anything.
There you go.
So that again, I'm like, and then Jay-Z, his attorney, just for being petty, their attorney was like, we want Ramier, his mama and his godmom, to pay the attorney fees for Jay-Z. Because they need to be sanctioned because they keep bringing this frivolous stuff.
I agree.
And the judge said, now, ma'am, Jay-Z makes more than enough.
Yeah.
I am not about to sanction this boy. to pay the attorney fees that he can't afford to pay. Girl. And his attorneys were like, I mean, we tried. We get it, but something needs to happen. It was just a very... Anyway, if you're in the Patreon, I will be posting the documents. And if you have time or are bored, I'm telling you, they are worth the read. It is a journey that you will go on. And I'm working on the video. Okay, last thing. So at Fulton County got a RICO. They finally got themselves one. Okay. Mm-hmm. They being Fulton County charged rapper Cash Out. Okay, and what's his song?
I'm cashing out. Some. I'm cashing.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
The rapper is called Cash Out, and he has a song called Cashing Out.
That's so long ago.
And his mom, and his cousin were charged with the RICO, as well as a lot of other things: assault, rape, and false imprisonment. I mean, a lot of things. And they were just convicted. It was a very sensitive case, I will say. You can't play it though because YouTube will strike me.
I'm trying to hear it. Go ahead.
There are a lot of sensitive matters dealing with the case, and so that seems to be the reason that it wasn't fully streamed. Even when I did my recap, I was not trying to include the women's names, although one clip is so short that I just left it. I had to leave it in. But anyway, regardless, the thing that was really interesting is the sentencing, right? So Cash Out and his cousin, Tyrone Taylor, were sentenced to life in prison plus 70 years. And then his mother was sentenced to 30 years. And before the sentences came down, there were some victim impact statements read into the record. There was a mother of one of the victims. She gave a statement. If you haven't watched my video, you should, because that woman's statement was, you felt her. You felt it. But I want to do the very quick victim impact statement I want to do, because when I heard it, I said, this is the statement I would give. So let me just pull it up really quick so that you can hear it. The statement I'm talking about.
While she's looking for that, Cash Out, he gives his statement, his closing statement, and that might have been
Cash Out
statement I've ever heard. This man didn't apologize to any of the victims. He said verbatim, "I'm not apologizing for something I didn't do," and that's who I am, and I'm not he's not apologizing. And I was like,
yeah, it just doesn't feel smart, right? Like the thing about that is,
say sorry, man. Whether you did it or not, say sorry. Sheesh.
It doesn't feel like a smart thing to do when you're about to be sentenced. You want to hear this really quick?
Oh yeah. I thought I already did though.
And hers was really quick.
And I have a statement.
No volume.
I don't know why. Can y'all hear when I hit this? I'll try. Okay, hold on.
I got static this time.
As long as you live.
The next statement was from another victim, and hers was really quick.
And I have a statement on behalf of Jasmine Brown, which states, I wish him nothing but hell.
Oh, I should show my face.
And
it was very quick.
Enough said.
I wish him nothing but hell.
Yeah.
But like I said, there were a number of victim statements. One victim was even in the courtroom and read her statement herself. And that was it was just sad to hear. It's really, really sad. We don't know the specific details because it wasn't streamed. But hearing what some of these women talked about in their victim impact statements and what happened to them was just really sad. And then to Greg's point, he being Cash Out did make a statement, and I'll play some of it because it was very long. But he didn't come across as remorseful at all. Him, his cousin, and his mom all made statements. His mother at one point said, "I take accountability," but the others didn't really seem to be doing that. So let me just play some of it, not all of it because it's long.
The final statement was read by a victim herself.
And he was represented by the father-son duo from the YSL case. If you are familiar with that one, their names, why is their names going? My mind is drawing a blank.
Matthews.
Yes, goodness. The Matthews. See, but what's their first names? My brain is drawing a blank.
Mary. Oh no.
Carrington, Jesus. Carrington Matthews Jr. and Carrington Matthews Sr. Those are their names, father, son, both attorneys, and they represented Cash Out as well as one of the defendants in YSL. But here's some of the statement.
Every woman you've seen come on this stand showed you that they left and came back willingly on their own. I've been traveling all around the world from here to Dubai, and you would never hear a woman say that I forced them to do anything. I don't hang around people that do things of that nature. And somebody asked me this the other day. It was like, every time I see your head high and you always smiling, because when you have that confidence, it takes me back to the Bible. When you have that confidence and you know you can be falsely accused of things, Jesus was falsely accused. A lot of the prophets were falsely accused. You don't have that emotion like you've done something.
I think that's enough. When he talked
that
about
wasn't the
Jesus,
beginning of it. But the beginning of it, he clearly states, "I'm not apologizing." Which is crazy. Even whatever I do, if I've said anything to offend you, and I'm in a court of law and some charges are being brought against me, and I feel like I'm innocent, I'ma simply say, "I'm sorry, but I did not mean to offend you." I'm not about to say, "Man, I ain't apologizing. I didn't offend you. I didn't mean to offend you. I'm not apologizing for that."
Tyrone did a version of that. His cousin said, the woman I do know, and she came on here and said, like, I did not know I offended her or did anything to her, but I think he said, I apologize for that. But Cash Out statement for sure was the most confusing.
Yeah, he should have shut up on that one.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the episode today. We went through a number of things, and it was a little more relaxed than our typical episodes. We're just kind of talking, just because there was so much happening that I wanted to talk about. So, like I said at the beginning, go to I'mNotALawyerBut.com. Very simple, very easy for merch. Thank you for watching, supporting.
I'm cashing it.
Join the Patreon. Bye, y'all.
Court is adjourned.